Hello, Internet.
Wait. I thought we said we were going to do hi, Internet.
Why would I say hi? I always say hello.
I know, but this isn't the show. This is a commercial for the show. I thought we said we were going to do it different.
I always say hello, Rod.
All right, fine. Say it whatever way you want to, Chris. It doesn't matter what I say anyway.
Hello, Internet.
You did, fine. You got your hello in. And now I'm Rod Morgan. You can listen to us on Balls and Brew, where we'll argue about many things, even more inane than what you just heard us argue about there. I promise. Right here on the Morganino Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Yeah We Know Podcast, part of the Morganino's Podcast Network. Here in the ring with Jimmy and Rod. Rod, what are you hot about today?
Well, I'm hot about this. I would say that the biggest fireworks for me last evening happened to be the ones that I was firing off in my backyard that I alluded to on our pre-show. I guess I could say that. I wouldn't say anything was terrible, Jim, but I don't know that there's like one lasting memory I'm going to remember from this SummerSlam. I wonder if you agree with me.
There's not one thing that stands out on this card than any other card in the history of professional wrestling.
I mean, not earth-shattering, right? I mean, this is still professional wrestling where we're going to have a few unexpected things that happen and all of the above, right? But I mean, I think we kind of knew Edge was coming back, right? So, I mean, that lost a little bit of its luster, right? I think we kind of knew Roman was going to walk out of the building, and we've seen Brock and Roman many times, and we'll get to more of breaking down that match. But I don't know that there's one of these when we have the WWE documentaries that are, counting down wrestling moments. I just don't know that we're going to get one that's going to end up in a top 10 list anywhere from this particular SummerSlam.
There's a couple that were good, but yeah, it seemed like SummerSlam was a little long again. Again, they still got those video packages, and I know you need some video packages for novices, but not as many. And then the Ronda match got cut big time. That got cut down to 4 minutes. And I'm sure Liv and Ronda were not very happy about that, but we'll get into that. We've got another championship match to talk about. First of all, it started off the show, Bianca and Becky, hard hitting. There was one spot there that looks like Becky kind of hurt her arm a little bit, but loved the ending sequence when she did the Spanish fly off the middle rope into the KOD for the pin. Bianca gets the win. What did you think about the match itself, Rod?
I think it's one of those cases, Jim, that this you can put up as a shining example of long-term storytelling and how it can pay off, and what you and I talk about so often that we just wish we had a few more storylines that would all run concurrently that did exactly what this match did for us. Because I think wrestling purists out there are going to say there were some spots that were missed, and I think that that's absolutely true. But It was hard-hitting, it was emotion-filled, it was character-building, and there was just ups and downs, and it was a great way to start that off, and it's probably my pick for match of the night, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was. All the matches were fine. Nothing was horrible. Nothing was fantastic. And this was very solid. Let's talk about a couple of things before we talk about the return here. The arena itself, I thought it was great. I thought the setup was wonderful. The only thing that really kind of hurt a lot of things that happened was the size of the entrance ramp. That was so long, and it took people so long to get down that it really did take up more time than it should have.
Yeah, I mean, it was good for your entrances that people were trying to do pomp and circumstance with, but a couple of scenarios where we had people trying to get down to the ring quickly for that pop, that definitely worked against that. I believe one guy special to my heart, I think it worked against him a little bit, and then
Big
something
time.
we're going to talk about at the end of this match, I think it worked against as well. So
It did, because... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, but as far as the Becky-Bianca match went, right, I don't know about Becky's boots. I guess I could just start there. She seemed to be tugging at him an awful lot. It kind of was that Ronda Rousey scenario, like don't wear something to the ring that you're going to be spending so much attention to during the match. But she still was pulling off great Becky moves. She was taking a lot of hard Bianca hits. Overall, I liked the match, but I could just tell it was a little sloppy. And I wonder, is the sunlight weird for them because they just don't wrestle in that very often?
Didn't you mean Becky's boots?
That's a good call, Jimmy. I can't believe I didn't even think of that.
I can't believe I didn't do that. But anyway, so that's interesting. You brought that up beforehand, and they did start the match in the sun with, first match being out there. It could. You never know. I just think sometimes that, things go don't go exactly as planned. The ropes might have been a little slippery. We had a lot of people slip tonight. Lesnar slipped, McAfee slipped a little bit. So that could have played into it a little bit there. Could have been very humid down in Nashville, so that could also have played something in there.
Well,
but
it's
at the very
humid
end,
here in Indiana. I mean, they're a little further south than us, but it was definitely humid here.
So huge return tonight with Bianca celebrating in the ring, and then all of a sudden the music hits, and this is where the entrance ramp and the Titantron video screens kind of hurt a little bit because you didn't see right away, and if you weren't around a year ago, you didn't know that Bayley made her return, and Bayley is someone that was a fantastic heel after being a wonderful babyface for a long time. So Bayley's back, but not only Bayley, then Dakota Kai comes out, and Rod, this was huge. You don't know Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai was tag team partners with Raquel Gonzalez in NXT, and Dakota Kai's always been a really solid worker. Okay, she's not the best wrestler in the business. She's not horrible. She's good on the mic. She's really solid, and they brought her and Raquel up at the same time. Dakota did a few of the dark matches, but they never pulled the trigger with her on the main event, and then they cut her. Was not a Vince McMahon person. So having her back on when I believe Corey Graves said, I didn't even know she was signed with the company. I don't think a lot of people knew she was signed with the company. So that was big. And then, Rod, Io Sky, the former Io Shirai's music hits, and she comes out. Io Shirai in NXT, Io Sky in WWE. Io Sky's amazing. She is a fantastic wrestler. She has really good, she's charismatic in the ring. She's going to bring, you're going to love her. I know you will love Io Sky. And having her there is great because she was not going to come back. They were not going to bring her up to the main roster with Vince McMahon. They were going to either sign her back to NXT or she was going to leave. Obviously, with Triple H now in charge, she is back, so you can kind of start seeing Triple H's fingerprints on things. I know you didn't really know much about them coming in. Pretty big moment for them coming in, looking at Bianca Belair. They want that title, and then the big moment, Rod, Becky Lynch standing next to her. The man is back, Rod. The man is back.
Yeah, well, I want to do something else here real quick before we get to the Becky Lynch of it all, because I'm going to break my arm patting myself on the back there, because that's one of the few things I sort of got right. But I am a fan of Bayley showing up, right? I was around early enough to see Bayley getting, frankly, white hot as a definite great heel, and she was going to have a big match with Bianca Belair. She got hurt, out of the picture. Carmella was once again thrown into our lives, right? That's just what happens with Carmella time after time after time. But I love Bayley. We all know that I'm a bit partial to the heels on this podcast, Seth Rollins being my absolute favorite guy, the Queen, Charlotte Flair, who gets nothing but praise from me all the time. So Bayley being back excited me. Clearly, these other two are big deals because everybody in the crowd was popping. You were freaking out in our group text message about how awesome this was. Our guy Mark Allen was hitting me up on Facebook Messenger about how awesome it was. So clearly, I got the monument of the moment. I like the angle of we all are going to team up. We're kind of badasses. We want what you have. And I absolutely loved Becky Lynch coming back into the ring and saying, I'm down with Bianca, the hug at the end with Bianca, and we're getting the man back, like you said, Jimmy. But I believe I talked a little bit about hopefully seeing Becky Lynch turn back to more of a face during that match. While I predicted her to win, I at least got that right?
Yeah, I think so. I think she's going back to being a face now. It'd be nice to get a third person in there, maybe Asuka in there as well, to kind of make it 3-on-3 there. So that would be cool. But yes, Becky Lynch seems like she's going back to being a face. Hopefully, she was a decent heel, but people really want to cheer her.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Is that we don't want to have to continue to boo her with all the things she's saying, because she's great, right? I mean, like we've talked about, she's probably getting some great tips at home from Rollins, who's just an absolute fabulous heel. But, like you said, people want to cheer. It's that. And we already have that weirdness when Roman Reigns comes to the ring, where he's basically just getting cheered more than anything else. So let's just let Becky be cheered.
Let's let her be cheered. Speaking about people they really want you to cheer, but no one wants to cheer, we have Logan Paul versus The Miz next. And Rod, Logan Paul once again has proven he puts his mind to it. He did a great job. That frog splash from the ring post to the announce table was amazing.
I was going to ask you, I mean, you're definitely the wrestling historian here, but I mean, I was making the joke earlier about top 10 lists that we could see places. Could you see that being in a top 10 list right now, a greatest, like off the top ropes to the outside moves?
I mean, that's it. You've got to, obviously recency bias, but you have to put it up there because just the height, the recoil that his body did, and he hit that solid. That was an amazing move. He had a great overall matchup. Couple things here and there still, but again, we're not. What are we doing here? No one's perfect. These are two human beings in the ring. Did a really good job. I love the fact that the skull crushing finale was with a finish there, beating somebody with their own move is pretty good.
Listen, I thought he was great, and again, I'm going to shout out that frog splash one last time here. The recoil, you're absolutely right. That, to me, make or breaks a frog splash. It's the reason that Montez Ford's is so great. It's the reason that sometimes the Usos are a little lacking for me because the Usos have a little bit of trouble at hitting that big recoil before they land it. So that was the big thing there. And my only question coming out of this match is, how often are we going to see Logan Paul? Because you hit the nail right on the head there. He is really, really good at what he's doing already. A little bit more work will clear a lot of those things up. But, I mean, he's got so many things going on. I can't figure we're going to see Logan Paul on a weekly basis. Do you?
No, I think he'll come in for the big moments. They might take him to the Clash at the Castle. I could see that. He is an international star. So that could be something that he does. But then you'll see him maybe at Survivor Series and then Royal Rumble type things.
I was surprised to not see his brother interject himself in that match. I mean, but I did kind of like seeing our guy AJ Styles. But as we joked about on the pre-show, AJ Styles will just show up and do almost anything these days. There it was again.
Hey, his music hits in the middle of the match. He comes out. He and Ciampa go at it, and whatever. That's fine. Styles is good for that. So hopefully they get him doing a little bit more coming up as well. Yeah, you think that
Dolph's
Jake Paul,
maybe going to still be involved, right? I was kind of disappointed in not.
Yeah, it was
Dolph
weird
there.
Yeah, that was weird. And Jake Paul not being there, especially since his fight got canceled.
Right.
So
I wonder
really
if that
doesn't
played
have anything
into
to
it
do.
more. If the fight wasn't going to be canceled, he might have been there trying to help sell a few more, buys, something like that.
It could have been. In a match that you and I think we both called on this one, Bobby Lashley versus Theory. Bobby Lashley just beat the hell out of Theory and got him to tap out. Theory did not look good.
No, he really didn't. It ended up not being a great night for Theory.
No.
And I wonder...
No.
And we'll get there, I guess, at the end. I'll save this for the end, but let's talk about this match. Yeah, I heard Bob Lashley do a post-game interview with David Shoemaker. It's a thing they're starting to do at the bigger pay-per-views. Like after WrestleMania, he had Cody Rhodes minutes after that match wrapped up. And what Bobby said, and I think this was a bit kayfabe, but I still liked it. He was like, Theory was trying to get through that match as quick as he could and without exerting too much energy because he still had big plans for the end of the night. And Bobby just kind of used that against him, tossed him into the Hurt Locker, and it was over. But again, white, hot, babyface Bob Lashley is still working, so let's ride it while we can.
I love it, and he's hot. People love him. I just want to see where they're going to go because Drew's the next person. Does Lashley maybe get a shot at Roman at Survivor Series? Maybe that could be something coming up.
I'd love to see those two go at it because those are two guys who have not even been in the same orbit of each other since I came around. And have that happened before? I'm sure it has.
I'm sure it has too. It's somewhere. I mean, they've both been in for so long. They've had something.
But not one off the top of your head, though. So that
not
would
off
be
the top
cool.
of my head. So it'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Judgment Day versus the Mysterios.
Wait, let's start here. Did you realize that this was a big thing that people are mad Finn Balor now wears pants? Like I just heard about this recently. Do you have an opinion on whether Finn Balor should be pants or pantsless?
Well, first of all, I'm pro pants in my wrestling in general. No, it's weird. It's just it's a different look for him. Some people think that you go from pants to tights when you're going from like mid card to main event status. Like Jericho did that way back in the day. Triple H did that way back in the day. They had pants for a while, then they go to the tights. I don't care either way. It's just a new look for him. I think we'll be fine if he's in his pants. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't.
I'm more worried about the storyline versus the pants. Yes.
All right, I'm sorry. I stopped your flow there.
Well, no, it was a good match, but you kind of knew how it was going to end. I did love Edge coming back as kind of a hybrid rated R superstar Brood Edge. He looked really good. The Judgment Day just need kind of a third guy, though, now that the Mysterios have three people.
Yeah, the Mysterios have three people with Edge. But no, I'm with you. Edge is another one of those guys that he gets pops, man. So, a combination of rated R and Brood, the things that we know best 4. I'm all about it. But I'll be interested to see what we do with him, because you and I talked about this before when Edge was running hot for a little bit, man. He's only got so many great matches probably left in that body, and let's not have him waste them here continuing with the Judgment Day. But I don't know. I mean, maybe. I know you're a big Damian Priest guy and you're a big Finn Balor guy. So, and from what I hear, Triple H likes those guys an awful lot too. So we could be seeing more out of the Judgment Day.
If I'm Finn Balor, I'm worried because the last time Judgment Day, they actually got the win on a pay-per-view and they kicked their leader out. So if they get a loss on the pay-per-view, Balor might be dead. So it might just be. So we need. Yeah, I don't know.
We're gonna see Drew Gulak, new leader of the Judgment Day.
Exactly. So I mean, again, that was a good match. But
I really threw you off with Drew Gulak there, didn't I, Jimmy? You were searching your mind for how to respond to that. And you're like, nope, I'm just gonna move on.
I'm just gonna move on to Pat McAfee and Happy Corbin. Okay, so to say that this is Pat McAfee's worst match in WWE, I believe is a fact. It was also a very good match. Okay, McAfee almost he almost missed when he jumped on to give the superplex off the rope, but he held on. Corbin did a great job helping them with that. McAfee
Corbin
did a hell of
many great jobs helping
no, he
him
did.
through that match.
He did. And McAfee did a great job of holding his balance on the top rope, almost falling. And then the last move, what is that called? Something flying red. I can't remember. But it was. He didn't exactly hit that how it should have been, but it ended up okay. I thought overall it told a good story. You had the kick to the groin at the end, which kind of gives us back to what Corbin did to McAfee. The whole choir thing was kind of funny. McAfee's new Titantron that we hadn't talked about yet is definitely over the top, but it's fine. I think McAfee needs to let's have him commentate a little bit more. And then bring him back in a while. We can calm down on McAfee wrestling, I think, for just a bit.
Yeah, I want to divulge something here, Jim. This is a bit of a safe space. The Mrs. Morgan, is a huge Happy Corbin fan. I don't have any great explanation for it, and I'm not sure that she does either, but she loves herself some Happy Corbin, and she might have been the only person in the entire United States who was rooting for him to win that match and was sad when Pat McAfee got the pin.
Well, I can tell you that she probably was. And I'm sorry for that because she is a very nice person, but that's okay. McAfee gets the win. We move on.
I like Corbin
Michael
a lot,
Cole,
though.
by the
Let
way.
me stop there real quick.
Yeah.
My last
go
point
ahead.
is
Go
I
ahead.
like
Yeah.
Corbin a lot, man. I really do. I'm a big fan of his as well. He's a trusted worker to me, and you can just see why the guy continues to get matches on TV because he knows he can be trusted, right? I mean, McAfee's a big investment for them, and Corbin made him look good in that match, and that's going to continue to get you involved in feuds. I just hope they write a good one for him soon because I think the guy's a pretty good worker, and he's a bit underrated.
He is. He's a really good worker. Do we stick with the Happy Corbin gimmick moving forward, though? How long is this Happy Corbin gimmick going to work?
I think we can tweak it a little bit, right? Because he's on a bit of bad luck now as the Happy Corbin, right? So I think maybe we can tweak it a little bit, and he can maybe search within himself a little bit and tone it down a little bit, possibly. You know what I mean? Maybe we could see that, the old soul searching bit, like we saw how good he was when he was completely in the depths of nothingness. So maybe we could kind of combine his two gimmicks and just tweak it a little bit where he can still have, the Happy Corbin name, but maybe the Titantron package changes a little bit and it's not as happy and it's not just money flying everywhere.
How about Content
There you
Corbin?
go. Or just Wagyu beef,
There
really
we
lean
go.
into the Wagyu beef that he used to really hit hard when he first was starting out as Happy Corbin.
The Wagyu Beef Corbin. Undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, the Usos versus the Street Profits with special guest referee JEFF JARRETT. It was a Street Profits versus Usos match. The ending was kind of weird where Ford got angry for some reason.
I didn't like the ending much. I really didn't.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all.
I liked the beginning a lot, right? We were hot with Jeff Jarrett early on. He was really forceful about the counts in the corner, and I was kind of like, okay, this is an interesting gimmick. If Jarrett's going to be real forceful ref the whole time, like no referees ever do this, that could be an interesting spin for this match. And then you said it there. Jimmy, I don't want to seem like I'm breaking bad on the Street Profits here, but what I am starting to wonder is, can they wrestle a different match? You're writing it off as it's a Street Profits Uso match, but what I'm saying here and presupposing is maybe it's just a Street Profits match. Maybe those guys can't do anything else because I don't think it has anything to do with the Usos. I think those dudes are top notch. I mean, the way those dudes enter the arena, the way they can wrestle a match, the way that they seem to be able to spring to a cool wrestling move out of any situation, any spot in the mat, out of the mat. I love the Usos, so I don't think it's them. I wonder if it's the Profits, Jimmy.
It could be, but see, Dawkins has done so much better recently, though. So they've kind of grown up a little bit, and so I don't know if it's him, but it looks like from the looks on their faces that this breakup might be quicker than we thought it was going to be, especially since Angelo Dawkins just stepped up so much recently.
I will shout out the Street Profits face work, though, right? The cameras know really well to zoom in on Montez and Angelo when things don't go their way, and those guys can sell it, man. Those guys are gifts galore with those facial expressions.
So one thing to keep in the back of your head is we were talking about the tag team division and who's left and who and everything like that, Alpha Academy or whoever.
Shoosh, Jimmy, shoosh. Is that let's do it. Let's talk up the Alpha Academy.
That's all I was going to mention. We do have Tommaso Ciampa, and then one of Triple H's guys, Johnny Gargano, is a free agent who didn't re-sign with WWE. They were DIY. The tag team for a long time in NXT before they became main eventers themselves. That's something to look at because as a tag team, those guys were fantastic. I remember seeing those guys in NXT before they were even signed to WWE. In Indianapolis, NXT came, and I saw these guys wrestle. It was against FTR, actually, another great tag team that's in AEW. It's like, wow, they're amazing. So if they bring them back, that would be a nice little jolt to the tag team division. It's what we need, Rod. Like the women's division is 3 more people deep now.
Yeah.
Really solid people. We need that in the tag division, and we did not get that tonight.
Yeah, we definitely didn't. And listen, you know me. Something about tag team matches, I love it, right? Maybe it's the fact that the Rockers were one of my favorite first ever wrestlers, not named Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is for me. But there's something in Ciampa, right? Like he's so stacked up, right? And he's so good at he's a little bit like Shinsuke, right? In that he can sell those strikes, right? Like his kicks and his hits and things like that. Like he sells them really, really well, and you buy it. Like, oh man, that would hurt if Ciampa did that to you. So I'm all about it, and I love the name Johnny Gargano. So let's go.
And his nickname is Johnny Wrestling. So let's go for it. Riddle and Seth Rollins. Okay, so this was very odd. After the match was over, all of a sudden there's a commotion. Someone's running in from the ring. I'm like, oh, who is it? Is it going to be Johnny Gargano? Who's it going to be? It's Matt Riddle. Okay, he's hurt. Riddle gets on the thing. He says, hey, I'm hurt. They won't let me wrestle. Come on down. And then Rollins came down, and it took him 8 or 9 minutes to get down there, which is fine. They brawled, and Rollins hit him with a curb stomp again. So now was he just out longer? I did not get this segment. I thought we were going to get a match of some sort with Rollins from what Triple H did on Twitter.
I will say this. The biggest pop for me of the night was when Rollins' song hit. I was down in my seat back in the Moasis, as we call it there, and then Rollins' song hit, and I popped up. And I believe that Mrs. Morgan, even took a picture of me popping up and cheering on Seth Rollins. You can even see Rollins on the TV in the background there. So that was a pop moment for me. And then, I stood up, and I was still standing up for like a minute and a half before Seth Rollins even got to the ring to do anything with Matt Riddle.
Yeah, you're like, all right, I'm going to go get a drink. I'll be back.
There was also another great quote from me when I saw Pierce run out from backstage, and I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, now you show up, Pierce. I'm like, come on, you don't do anything, and now you're going to stop my guy from getting to Riddle? So I was yelling at Adam Pierce, which continues the theme for me.
I could see you actually yelling at
I was like, Pierce, just let him go. And so then of course they basically do, and Riddle gets stomped into the ring. And so are we just not going to see Riddle on TV for a little bit until the Clash at the Castle, or is he just going to be back on Monday night like nothing happened again? I don't understand it.
So again, I don't know where we're going. I would hope that he would be off of TV for a couple weeks. We've got 5 weeks till Clash at the Castle. I think a good 3 weeks off of TV to then get 2 more Monday Night Raws in before the thing would be fantastic. But if he's there tomorrow, what's the point? And if he's getting beat up again,
and if he's not there tomorrow, what's Seth Rollins doing for 3 weeks?
Yeah, that's a good. We'll have to see.
They're getting me mad, Jim. They're getting me mad because they're yanking my guy around, Jimmy. They're yanking my guy around. I saw today. I'm going to take a quick sojourn here, Jimmy, but I'm going to wrap it all together. All right. I saw today or yesterday, I believe it was. It was a year ago that Ricketts had the fire sale in Chicago. All right. I saw it was a year ago today.
Sure.
And I have been a lifelong Cub fan. Jimmy, you've known me for a long time. The Cubs have been one of our common interests. You've now known me for the past year. Do I bring the Cubs up? Do I watch the Cubs? Do I follow the Cubs? Absolutely not. If you jerk me around too much, I have enough personal conviction to follow through with spiting you. So you better watch yourself, WWE, with Rollins. You don't want me walking away because the Cubs are full proof that I can do it just to spite you.
And on that note, I hope they do your boy.
That's what I'm saying, man. He's one of the biggest stars in the company anyway. I just don't get it, man. And Triple H, like you said, he quote tweeted that thing. So let's go. Let's go, Paul Levesque. All right. Let's figure out what we do with our boy from Iowa because he's one of the better stars you got out there. I get that Drew McIntyre's red hot, and I love me some Drew McIntyre too, and Bob Lashley, but we got to have a heel who can go against those guys, and Seth Rollins should be right at the top of that list.
Hey, maybe that's something. Rollins and Lashley. Why not?
Seth Rollins fighting for the U.S. belt. I'm cool with that for a little while.
Sure.
That's a good way to rebuild him up, Jim, because as you've talked about, he's lost so many matches recently.
Yeah. I was going to say it's kind of a good thing he didn't wrestle a mystery opponent because he probably lost.
All right, Jim.
Opponent,
all right.
So. All right. It's,
let's move on.
I love the fact you're like, no, he's not on a losing streak. He's fine. It's like, well, I mean,
I can say it, Jim. I can say it. You can't.
It's his job. It's okay. He's fine with it. SmackDown Women's Championship, Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey got a good 4 minutes. The show was going long, so it's another good thing the Riddle.
Well, thank God they let Drew McIntyre come out, right? Heaven forbid they could have given that.
Oh yeah,
time.
I did forget to mention that.
I loved it though. It was a great promo.
It was cool. Yeah, it was cool. It was really neat. He was kind of in the middle of the walkway because he got tired walking down there. But I thought that was a really cool promo to have him out there. He's one of their big stars, and he's going to go for the title, so might as well have him out there. But that, along with the Miz match going a little long and all these video packages.
But wait a minute.
Liv and Ronda,
I can't let this go by either, Jimmy, before we get to the end of this. The video package for the Queen has to mean something, right, Jimmy? It has to mean that we're going to see her soon, doesn't it?
Do you want me to tell you what that actually means, or do you want to just go with that?
I mean, I asked you, I guess, so go ahead, rain on my parade, Jim.
So there's different tiers of Peacock, and on one of the tiers you actually get commercials instead of video packages. So on one tier you got a commercial. On the other tier they just put random video packages in. Like a couple months ago they put a Bobby Lashley heel video package that was in there for no reason because he wasn't really a heel anymore. So I think that might be what that is.
That's why I saw one for Kevin Owens too. Is what you're telling me?
Yeah, I mean, I hope that it's just kind of reminding you that.
Well, you know what? That's good news.
Soon,
I didn't even realize I paid for the higher tier of Peacock, but apparently I do.
I think you do. So we have Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey, 4 minutes. It's taken longer to get to this match in our discussion than the match was itself. The end was okay. The end had Liv Morgan pinning Rousey.
I liked it, actually. For a schmaz,
while Rousey,
for a schmaz, it was good.
Yeah. While Rousey had the armbar on, Liv taps at 2. Ref didn't see it, counted 3, and then Rousey went complete ape shit over that. So hopefully she goes complete
Which is
heel.
fine. That's where she needs to be.
Because that's what people want. Yes, she needs to be heel. Here's the thing: people who aren't wrestlers don't necessarily understand. Ask Becky Lynch. It's more fun to be a heel. It's more fun to get booed and to yell at people and scream at people than it is to be a babyface. Being a heel is fine, and I think Rousey could do a good job with that. Now we got to see what's going to happen on the SmackDown side, getting her some different opponents in there.
Jimmy, Queen, Charlotte. Yeah. I'm just going to put it in the air. Charlotte Flair, your dad wrestled his final match. It's time to get another Flair back in the ring.
Lesnar and Reigns in the last man standing match. Lesnar comes to the ring, turns around, gets a tractor, brings the tractor up, stands in the bucket, does an amazing flip of the microphone to Roman Reigns, and then does a Luthez press off the bucket on top of Reigns. How'd you like that stuff?
I don't know if you got to give credit to Lesnar on that or Reigns. I mean, that's some pretty sick hand-eye coordination by the tribal chief there.
No, that's Reigns. That's a good call. That's Reigns. That's definitely on Reigns. So this match literally had everything in it. It was very hard hitting. Reigns, it was thrown around like a rag doll by Lesnar, and those did not look good. It looks like Reigns is going to be feeling that for a little while.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you this: isn't that sort of a Brock Lesnar thing that like you tend to come out on the worst side after a match with him?
The UFC. Yeah, the Usos also died. I think they got dropped on their heads a couple of times, and you got to be careful. Biggie got seriously injured by those moves, so you got to be very careful with those.
I wanted to point out, though, going off
go
of
ahead.
what you said there, the Mrs. Morgan, she loved this match, by the way. Like, she was with me through most of the pay-per-view, and she was, reading a book or doing other things with the kids and whatnot, but she was locked in for this match and loved it. And she asked me at one point, she's like, Roman Reigns is really getting beat up. And I was like, well, to be honest with you, that's kind of what he does in a lot of his longer matches, where he'll just take some punishment and then he'll just kind of turn it around at the end, kind of the way Hogan used to, right? Like, Hogan always used to just get worked in his matches, and then all of a sudden it'd be a big leg press and a body slam and we'd be out.
Wham, bam, you're gone. Yeah. Remember, a lot of the matches you've seen Roman Reigns go against Brock Lesnar, though. So that's kind of what you have to do with Lesnar. So let's get to a couple things. I will tell you who did not enjoy most of this match. The people who were on the other side of the ring that got lifted up by the tractor. By the way, Tractor should get the Wrestler of the Night because it hit its spots all it needed to. Lesnar driving that thing. Obviously, he's used to that, but anything can go wrong with those. I'm surprised it worked. I think actually the first time when he moved the ring 10 feet, it was not supposed to happen.
Definitely not.
But then they lifted the ring up and left the ring there for the rest of the show. That's something memorable, I think.
I suppose so. Jimmy, I wanted to ask you this. Is that Lesnar says to them, I want Tractor involved? Is that a Triple H idea? Is that a thing that Vince had already cooked up and they already had the contract signed for the Tractor? Or what answer would you give on that multiple choice?
I think that's been the plan for a while now. Yeah, something that big and that just to give it something different. That's the plan.
All right, so that's not necessarily a Paul Levesque special.
No, I don't think that was Paul Levesque. I think that was already done. You can't. That's a pretty quick turnaround there. All right, so let's kind of hit this one big thing at a time. We have the ring get lifted up. Reigns falls out. The Usos end up coming, and Lesnar drops them on their heads. And then Theory's music randomly hits at a time that really didn't make too much sense, making Theory look bad again. He comes down, and he gets beat up by Lesnar, and then Reigns also hits him with the briefcase. Theory did not have a good night.
He didn't. That's not a cash in though either, right? The way that the one ref never took it or whatever, so Theory can still cash in. That definitely is a thing.
It has to be announced as a cash in.
All right, so he gets to keep his briefcase that way. But yeah, no, the Usos come down. We're trying to super kicks get passed out because of course the Usos are involved, and it makes sense for the Usos to be involved in that match. And I'm with you. The best work in that match, and Jimmy, I'll give you a virtual high five here. You said we've seen guys get piled up with things before, and that's clearly how we ended up getting rid of Lesnar at the end. But you hit it right on the head. If you know your final spot in the match is going to be working outside the ring over in that corner, why in the world would you lift up the ring on the other side so people can't see it?
Yeah, that was weird because you could always put the ring back down, but maybe they were nervous that putting it down would even cause more damage, and you got people over there now. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of people that are probably a little pissed about spending $1,500 for ringside seats and seeing the underneath of the ring. You want behind the scenes shots? Well, there was your behind the scenes shot there for you. But as you said, the Usos and Reigns just put everything they possibly can on Lesnar, and they get the win. It was a good last man standing
How about
match.
Heyman though? How about our boy?
I forgot. Oh yeah, Heyman got the F5 and he sold it like he died, and he kept selling it and selling it. Give it to Heyman. You gotta love him.
He's another one of the Mrs. Morganino's favorite. She loves it anytime the wise man shows up, and he absolutely did. He got F5 through that table, and like you said, he was dead for a while until the Usos had to drag him backstage.
That's just so funny. Before we go, Ric Flair won his final match tonight. Of course, he was bloody at the end, so congratulations to Ric Flair. Some notable people in the audience: Mick Foley, Bret Hart, and The Undertaker were seen at ringside. So that's kind of cool.
Wow, Mark Calloway sighting, huh? Mark Calloway was hanging out with me at the Moasis watching the SummerSlam.
Oh, nice. Anything else before we go, Rod? What do we got going on? Oh, we got big week this week in the Morgan You Know universe.
We sure do. I don't know that we will have a balls and brew for the people. We don't have anything to chop up yet. They're playing the Hall of Fame game in the NFL actually this week, so maybe we'll have Mr. Williams on next week and we can start doing some preseason football stuff. So I think we may take balls and brew off, but on Thursday of this week, I believe this is going to be coming out for you in your feeds Monday morning. On Thursday morning, right around 8 a.m., we will be dropping the Morgan You Know 100th episode. And we have cooked up a draft that I think is an awful lot of fun. And you will see plenty of things out on the social media platforms about that episode that day. Celebrate episode 100 with us by listening in.
And with that, you've been listening to the I We Know podcast, part of the Morgan You Know's podcasting network. You're in the ring with Jimmy and Rod.
I'm just saying right now that if Seth Rollins, A, doesn't appear on Raw, or B, appears on Raw but is involved with something that I am not happy about, my goodness, the next episode, I really am going to burn it down.